is the border between Maryland and DC, I think. So that's
this
our
porch.
This is the porch, and that's the owner of this house. And come on in. This is our living room, and this is my uncle. This is the dining room, and this is the kitchen. This is the dining room, and this is the kitchen. We have a very nice stove, very modern. So just glass, customized, super nice. And there are 3 bedrooms in here, but the one that they posted on Airbnb says only have 2 bedrooms, but it's actually 3. So this is the first bedroom, and this is the second bedroom. Yeah, see all this painting. It's very, very nice, very comfy at night. We had a good sleep last night. So that's a good thing. This is where I sleep, and that's where my friends sleep. Alright, so we're heading to Alexandria, Virginia for a 1.5 history walk.
Sebentar lagi ikut tur ya?
Iya, kami lagi di taman di Taman Alexandria, tempat akan Virginia dengan DC. Lagi mau ikut tur, lagi nunggu, bentar lagi mau jalan. Bagus, aman, bagus. Bunga-bunganya bunga segar, kan agak panas.
And the guy, hi! The guy already here, and we're ready.
By going down to the waterfront and wrap our way back around through this area up to the other side of South Washington and then back here again. As we go, if you have any questions, just let me know. If you want to stop for pictures, we can also do that.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started in that case. Right. tobacco from the Virginia Tobacco Company. and then grew to include wheat, flax, and barley. And then the Port of Alexandria opened trade with the West Indies, also to import sugar. So this whole area, and actually a block and a half back from where we're standing, was completely underwater prior to 1749, and that's when they filled in a lot of the wharf area here. So you'll notice sandbags as we walk along the by the stores. It's because it floods really bad here still. But they filled it in mostly with materials that they could gather in Virginia, but also they scuttled or sunk old colonial era tall ships that were about to be contained 62 tons of ice in full. You would chip off the big and form it into one big block of ice, insulate it with straw, sell it to townspeople, and also see the American Legion owns this half of Gatsby's Tavern, and that's because from when the original hotel closed in 1900 and 1933, they purchased the entire building, kept up the preservation, then sold half back to the city to be Gatsby's. Oh, great. Social events like at Gatsby's Tavern when he was here in town, because his own house at Mount Vernon was about a 4 to 6 hour carriage ride away, which now it's only about a 15-minute Uber ride down the road, to give you some perspective. And so this unfortunately is a replica, but the stones on the bottom were from the foundation of the original, used to rebuild this replica. And what's crazy is that it's a privately owned home. It's actually being rented out right now. But they do keep George in the window. And you'll notice that...
Is it a haunted house?
Not that I know of. And that's for me. And then he has fire insurance plaque over here. And the rumor is that he purchased the first fire truck for Alexandria from where they were originally manufactured. Wasn't destroyed by fire, has some of the original windows in it as well. And the left side part of the building, that was built in the late 1800s for the growing congregation. The graveyard is interesting in its own right. There are between 1,200 and 2,000 people buried here.
Wow.
You can tell by the number of tombstones, they're not exactly reflected in that. And that's partially because the cemetery extended on both sides, and because during the Civil War, when tombstone theft was a problem, they put all the tombstones within the church for safekeeping, and then at the same time they lost the church records that showed where, based on locals who remembered as best as they could. And then what's also interesting about the cemetery is that most of the stones, save a few contemporary exceptions here and there, predate 1809, and that's when a major typhoid epidemic outbreak hit Alexandria. So burials within the city itself were banned, and that meant that people were buried on the outskirts of town then, which is now by Whole Foods, and what's known by the Wilkes Cemetery complex.
It's a Christ
Church.
church.
This was built early 1830s to accompany the original building on this side as an added architectural feature. And you can see this plaque over here actually is for one of the memorial masses held here for George Washington after he died. He had 5 different memorial services or different funerals at different locations, and those were the pallbearers that were on this funeral detail. And you'll see Colonel Dennis Ramsey on that list, and he was one of the owners of the Visitor Center Ramsey building that we passed and where the bathrooms are. Victorian. And that's when you got the front archway, the curved roof, the detailing around the windows, and that's why you see circular windows on this side of the house, but not on this side. The sister building of that is the same owner, Greek Revival architecture. Built originally right after 1800. The Alexandria Library was on the bottom floor, and then the second floor is actually a debate hall, and that housed what was known as the Lyceum movement at the time, which was an effort to raise the education level of adult citizens. So this is a statue of a Confederate soldier. It's placed here because the Alexandria militiamen, who knew the Union Army or the Northern forces were going to come and join the Virginia 17th Infantry and fought for the Confederacy during the war, the Southern forces. And that's why there's really no fighting, save one incident I'll mention later, during the Civil War here in Alexandria, or really any war. George Washington, 1763, and this house was built within a year on this property. And it's the crazy thing about this house is that it's still in the Washington family. Actually, the descendants of Martha Washington's sister Anna live here today, and it was
George Washington house. Still the property belongs to George Washington, and still the family still live here. Descendant.